do a test. I've been going through my lives, the ones I've been uploading. So I do a live, and a few of you come on. And then I go back and I watch the live to check out comments, but also to check the quality of the lives I'm uploading. And what I'm finding is that the volume is being tampered with, the quality of the videos being tampered with. Yesterday, I did a live at about, I'd say about 7 o'clock last night, I think. 7 or 8, 9 or something like that. I can't remember. I better check. The point is, it was in the evening, and when I went back to check on it, it's still saying. As a matter of fact, right now it's still saying it's waiting. So I don't know if you guys see the live I posted last night, but based on my end, it's still saying waiting. Um, so I don't know what I'm waiting for, what they're doing to it. There's no medical misinformation on it. I know there's a lot of things that YouTube classifies as being unfit. I'm not sure exactly what is on that, and if I think about it. But I was talking about witchcraft in the church yesterday. So, good morning. So I am just testing to see how deep this goes, like how much I have to do to make sure I the videos that come up that are uploaded are of good quality. And I've kind of neglected the channel. I just do a video and upload it because before when I was doing revised edited videos then uploading it to YouTube, it was such a hassle, and I wasn't getting information up fast enough. So now that I'm just doing lives, what seems to be happening. I assume that if I did a live, it would be up. You see the quality right away, and then it would just be up there. But my live from yesterday is still pending. I'm not too sure. Like I said, if you see the live I did last night, it was called Synagogue of Satan. But it's still um, on my end. I did watch it on my studio, but when I go to YouTube as one of my videos, it's not there. Well, it's not visible. It's saying waiting. Um, I just want to say, and I'm going to do a video now and then I'm going to check the volume later on, that I'm going to say that the warfare has been certainly intensified. And I feel as though someone made a comment yesterday on the studio app. Like when I put up a video, studio app allows me to edit, etc., etc. And someone had made a comment about and exactly what I was saying, come up from among them. So the Lord has led you to understand that there's witchcraft in something, like someone's practicing witchcraft around you, that you're to disassociate yourself from those people or that person. And that's exactly what I was saying, but I was saying it to a person who claims that they're not participating in witchcraft. So it's kind of like I'm using my and also very insulted by the fact that I'm saying that they're practicing witchcraft. Like I don't know sometimes if people even realize what they're doing is witchcraft, because I do believe a lot of the churches who are professing to say that they're for God are doing not just like not lying and slandering, they're actually doing magic. And when I mentioned this to somebody, they were saying there's no scientific evidence behind magic and sickness. And there isn't, because they contradict themselves. There's not going to be any scientific backing behind witchcraft. But I will tell you that there's people that get paid for this, for practicing witchcraft, and do it all day. This is what they do for a living. They're hired by people in positions of authority to hound people down and cause sickness, disease, and premature death. And oh, we don't even know what happened. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. There's people that's some people that's their job. There's people who are old and gray and just sit in a situation. They act like they're not doing anything, and they're summoning demons to cause people injury in some way, shape, or form. This is not a joke. This is not a lie. And people who practice it, who used to practice it, will tell you this is what they do. There is a evangelist name. He's a pastor now. He's Spanish, And I'll see, and I always say this, and this time I promised you I'm going to find a video and put it under here. He used to be a warlock, and now he's a pastor. And the reason why he was a warlock, he professes, is because he had a hard life, and the enemy came to him. Satan came to him and said, I will be your dad. I'll take care of you. Anything you want, I'll give you. So this is why he chose that life. But when he chose that life, he realized he was still empty, and he realized that the enemy does not love him. But anyway, I won't tell his story. I'll let him tell his story, and I'll definitely, after I'm done with this, post it on this video, because it's not gonna be long. But I just want to let you know, to the degree that the enemy is causing havoc and confusion in my life, to the point, and also too, he's causing havoc and confusion in the lives of many, but to the point where it's unbelievable. So there's not even a point to going to someone to complain about it, because unless they're experiencing it themselves, they're not going to believe it. So it's almost like you're going through it, you have to kind of keep it to yourself. So what is the Lord teaching me? That you may be experiencing some things, and it's meant for me just to learn it, and then just to be a sounding board and to comfort to those who come into an understanding of it later on. And that is a very small group of people who is experiencing the gaslighting, the lying, the manipulating, the the thing of tampering of their lives, their finances, their businesses, their physical health is all being tampered with. And there's nothing in this world that can fix it. It's just God's instruction, his holy word. So, like, for example, for me, I had just started coughing out of nowhere, and I was outside. I talked about this before. I was outside for a period at a car wash, washing some things for a business. It took about 2 hours to do, and it was cold outside. But I'm born in a cold climate. I don't get sick, and I don't believe sickness has anything to do with it being cold. People who live in cold climates don't get sick. So I was out there doing some stuff, and I love the cold, to be honest. And when I was finished, I found myself very stuffy. And instead of clearing my nose, which I learned now you should do, because that mucus is live and living and can spread in your body and spread to other people, I kind of just, you kind of, when you get stuffy, you kind of just, let it sit there. You blow your nose a little bit, but there's a real um, there's a real importance to clearing sinus cavities on a regular basis, because the mucus that's in there is living and live. And if your body is not healthy, it will just manifest itself into a cold. And what I've discovered that to be true, because I'm a living proof of that. So when I didn't clear my sinuses properly, I ended up with this cough that you saw me have. Those of you who watched the videos, I had this cough that lasted for about, I'd say maybe 4 weeks, a month. And the reason why it lasted is because every time I went to a situation, when you're followed, everywhere that you frequent, people know. So there's people that are set up in the situations where you go to, if it's a certain Tim Hortons, where you live, where you go to work, where you jog, where you walk. Um, they sit up there and they can project the same sickness that the initial person was projecting, making you feel as though you're sick. But the difference is that when you're in a situation where you're by yourself, like when I go for my walks to try and get some peace, the symptoms would go away completely. So I knew this was projected. And this is just the message for those of you who can relate, who've been monitored, like gaslighted, followed, and are experiencing stuff like physical ailments that cannot be that can't be explained by science or medical professionals. The reason why they can't find a source is because the source is not coming from you. The source is coming from outside of you. And when I leave a situation where there's people set up to project the sickness or whatever ailment I may be experiencing, the symptoms subside. That is true. I'm not saying this because I've read it, someone told me. I'm saying this because this has been my experience. And if you need someone who can relate and who can actually help you through whatever it is you're going, I can give you a few tips. And maybe I should do a video about this. If you think that's a thing that may be needed, let me know. But there's a way to know if you're being gaslighted, being followed, being tracked, your phone's being tapped into, and you're finding that you're constantly going through stuff like physical, like sickness, ailments that you don't know where it's coming from, I can instruct you as to how to um, overcome it, for lack of a better term. There's a way to deal with this. And you need to understand that sickness is not just sickness. We don't just, there's not a season for sickness. It's not by chance that we go through a period of hype with Christmas, and then people are encouraged to spend, spend, spend. And then the flu season comes right after that with the stress. Stress is probably the highest, the biggest factor in relations to how people get unwell. Stress. It just depletes the body of all its defenses. This is true. Okay, so God, the Lord didn't talk about flu seasons. The flu season was set up by a bigger, darker grouping of entities. Something that the Lord knew would happen. That's why He put into place praying and fasting. Praying and fasting is the fastest way to get your body healthy, to get rid of inflammation, to get rid of mucus. Praying and fasting is the fastest way, as I discovered, because food, especially the junk that we eat, fuels the sicknesses in our body. It fuels cancer, it fuels mucus, it fuels yeast, it fuels all the junk that we eat, fried food, sugar, refined carbs. They're all things that are fueling sickness. Now, what I will say is this: the world is now waking up to the idea that natural things, the things that the Lord provided, which I've been talking about for years, is what keeps us healthy. Ginger, turmeric, cayenne pepper, sage, thyme, rosemary, aloe vera, you name it. If the Lord has produced it, it is powerful for you. Okay. These are the things, and even if you're eating some junk, these are the things that can reverse those things. So I've been using, lately, I've been really on a kick about ginger and was it hibiscus, which we in Jamaica called sorrel. And just making, there's a way to make food taste great and still be natural. I don't use refined sugar at all. If I'm gonna sweeten something, it will be with pear juice or with honey or with cane sugar or coconut sugar, something that's natural. Now, I'm still investigating as to whether or not they tamper with some of these things, but with the honey, I know I'm getting my honey that's unpasteurized, it's not boiled, so it's pure form. Ginger, I use the organic, really strong, the thinner root looking ones. Turmeric, same thing. Either powder, if you can't get the raw, use powder. There is, to me, there's no, I'm not trying to say it has to be fresh. Get it in the body. Get it in the body. There's certain cultures, I'm going to say the South Asian culture, if you go to their grocery stores or the section of the store where they shop, this is what they live by. Everything they have, it has cinnamon, it has ginger, it has garlic, it has onion. It grows your hair, it it beautifies your skin, it keeps your body healthy, it keeps the weight off. We need to watch cultures that are living healthy. South Asian cultures, people in India, China, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, these are the things they put in their food naturally. That's what gives it that flavor, but also too keeps them healthy. Lime, citrus, lime, lemon, oranges, grapefruits, those kind of things keeps you healthy. So I just wanted to put that out there. As I say that, I'm going to encourage you to, if you haven't already started, to start, you know, trying to find ways to grow, especially if you're living in a climate where there's winter. Try and find a way to grow certain things indoors and maybe in a buckets. If you have a solarium, if you have an area that has a lot of light, because it's going to be a time where it's going to be very difficult to get all these things that we enjoy because a lot of it is imported. It grows in climates where it's very warm. So like people are so gung ho about coconut and avocado. Where are we going to get that from if there was a grid lockdown? Like if we had issues with importing food, you know, where are you going to get bananas, plantain, the things that people love? Has anyone ever thought about that? They're not going to ship that in. It's not going to be a priority. And for those of you, and I've talked about this before, who are dependent on medication for your health, your high blood pressure, for cancer, for diabetes. When the when because this is the Lord talked about a time that's going to be rough, you know, and we've seen examples of this on the news where people have gone through certain situations, natural disasters, and there no one's going around saying, okay, who knew he needs diabetes, who needs insulin, who needs high blood pressure medication, who needs your, you know, they're not walking around giving you medication for what ails you. So right now they're telling you you have to take it. This is what you need, but it obviously is having people dependent on them, and that puts people in authority and giving them a lot of control over your physical body. And this is the time to find out what it is that's natural that you can grow yourself, that can keep you healthy. This is just what it is. This is, I mean, you can make the choice. You can decide they're going to run around with these little bag pills and saying this is what, as I understand, this is 66 fever lane, and here's your diabetes, your insulin and your medication for high cholesterol. That's not going to happen. Where have you ever seen this happen? They're barely giving out water and food. We're off medication. Please keep this in mind. I wish it was different, but it is not. You watch television, you watch social media, you see this is what it is. This is just a fair warning to you. Anyway, let's see what the quality of this video is going to be like today. Should be interesting. I just posted a short, and it was of one of the snowstorms that we did when I had to shovel this whole big driveway, and I talked over it, and the video quality and the sound of my talking sounds pretty clear. So let's just see if maybe this platform is playing with the volume and the quality of the videos I'm posting. All right, I hope you're all doing well. Fasting and praying. Amen. Love you all so very much. Remember, you're made marvelously. You are a special generation created specifically for this time. Remember, the Lord foreknew you. He knew you before your mother's womb, so He knew you would be born for a time like this. So you are special. You are chosen, and the Lord loves you. He needs you. What He wants is for none to perish, but for all to have everlasting life. But He also gave us free choice. So let's pray that we are accounted worthy and that we're counted a part of the wise virgins. Okay, until next time, be blessed.